All right, here we are in our run and driving video of our 186 Ford F-150 spruce green. I got all the lights going. One thing I forgot to mention in the video I wanted to show you that's amazing. This is it has several sets of keys, but this is the original set with the original key tag. Spruce. Someone wrote 155 for some reason. Just really super cool. This set has barely been used, but work amazing, of course. But it's got, I think, like 4 sets of keys. This owner was, I would say, probably meticulous by the way this truck is condition is today. High beam light works. We'll kick down the high beam light. Buzzer goes out, of course, when you shut the door. I'll pop the hood also. Runs really nice and smooth. As you can see, the lights work on low and high beams. Don't need anything there. You can see it's just running really nice and smooth, super quiet. Just had an oil change, miles wise, but it was a couple years ago. You'll see the owner just didn't really put a lot of miles on this. I don't think this was his daily driver throughout the decades. I think this was kind of his baby in his truck. Still a little cold out here. I'm kind of fighting a cold myself, so you got to kind of deal with me being congested as I talk. Every light works. Everything works on this truck. License plate lights. Dome light works, of course. All right, so we're gonna get belted up. Also, this window goes down super smooth. You can see the arrows working. Again, the wing window, you got to give her a good push. It's nice and tight. You come back here, you're not gonna need any coins there. Doors lock really nice and easy, of course. These little guys don't work. I'm supposed to show your hour there.
What is the plan? We fight for this place. It's Trump's real business.
That sounds good. Sounds better than stock, but nothing crazy. Just enough to keep you entertained as you're driving. Every gauge works. Separate fuel pumps, separate sending units. Got about a little in between half and a quarter on the rear tank. It'll start going down. I think it's a little above E on the front tank. Hopefully you guys can see good. See the RPM gauge, vacuum gauge working. Everything's working. Okay, so everything's working here. RPM gauge, vacuum gauge. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go. Put the e-brake on. You can see e-brake light works. Put it in gear here. Doesn't want to move. Pull off on the e-brake and it wants to go. Reverse works nice and smooth. Shift's great. But here you'll see the oil change is due in well, it says 221. So I don't know, maybe that's the 21st of February, I guess. But it would be due for an oil change. Let's see here. Well, I guess they didn't update the sticker because it has a fresh oil change on it, but the oil is really nice and clean. So I'll pop that off there. Wipers work at all stages. So hopefully we'll get up to some speeds up here. It is traffic time though, but I mean, this is one of those one finger drives. I mean, this thing's super responsive. You can see those potholes. Hopefully you saw those dark holes. I mean, it just soaks them up. There's no rattles on the interior, no clinging and rattling down below. It's just fantastic. You don't see this era, the 80 to 86 trucks, you don't see as much of them in really good shape or fixed up nowadays. I've always loved the, brick nose ones. Of course, I love the OBS trucks, but I've always loved these and just never really understood why they didn't get that love. A lot of it might be that the aftermarket wasn't really there for them because the door panels and trim kind of fell apart, but now that is there. And I think people are starting to recognize these trucks, but you don't see very much out on the road, at least where I am. Give her a little gas. It's kind of wild because all the other ones I've had from, this body style have been carbureted. And so it's kind of wild because it feels and sounds when I get on the motor and how it shifts and everything feels like a 95, 96 OBS truck. And then you got kind of the old body style, so I just love it. You can see it drives arrow straight. Horns working like a champ. Steering wheel isn't cocked one direction. I mean, it's just boom. Hands are off. I'm just cruising. The road's kind of a little harsh this way, but oh dear. What's this idiot doing? I don't know what that guy was doing, but people on the road nowadays causing problems. So, man, the heater works unbelievable. I gotta turn it off. But you'll see the fuel gauge took a little while to come down for the other tank. So I'm gonna go back to the rear. But I just wanna show both of them work, and I'm showing different levels. I'm gonna take you on this road because it's a nice little back road. It's had a lot of abuse. It's had a lot of updates. But it's got a lot of potholes and patches, so you can see how solid it is. Here's a big pothole. You can see the road's terrible. It's just, I'm going for the potholes, going for the patches, because it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's as solid as can be. Here's a patch line right here. In my lowered Silverado with 22s, that you wouldn't be surprised how violent that little bump is. There's that guy out there again. What is he doing? Good Lord. So we got a 90 here. Sorry about that back there. It's a really tight 90. You're gonna see how the steering wheel rotates around. It wants to return, I let go of it. It wants to center up. I don't know if you have ever been into a vehicle that it doesn't want to recenter, but you wouldn't believe what that little difference does if you have a worn out steering box where it doesn't want to come back. And a lot of that time it can be your alignment that doesn't allow the steering box for it to come back. But it's kind of a nightmare to drive. I mean, you have to drive everything everywhere. Here's another one, and you can see it just brakes really nice and smooth. You don't get any shaking through the pedal. No ball joint clunking or tie rod clinging. And also, you'll see the pedal pads got very little wear on the brake and gas pedal, and overall the floor mat kind of just showing the low mileage and care this vehicle got. I doubt anybody drove this thing besides the owner. It looks like the kind of vehicle that one person only drove, and he only let nobody drive it really, because it's super clean. All right, and it's going to no reserve, so you will be the lucky owner. Good luck.